Some people say I remind them of their dad. I show up every couple months and we have fun, we have a good time together. For a fleeting moment, you think I'm actually back in your life, but next thing you know, I just take off again. Go get some cigarettes, kid. Differently than your dad though, I actually care about you, which is why I'm here today making this video. I don't know if you've noticed, but for the past year and a half, I've been pretty inactive. I've stopped uploading consistently on YouTube, I've completely stopped streaming on Twitch, I was even off social media for some time. I guess you could say that I actually quit. These have been times of deep reflection, soul-searching, and today I want to have an open, heart-to-heart conversation with you guys about where I've been, what I've been doing, as well as the future of this channel and the future in general. Let's get into it. Now, before we talk about the future, it's important to briefly mention the past. It was spring of 1998, the sun was out, the birds were chirping, my parents were having sex with no regards to protection, and thus, in February of 1999, I was born. As a kid, I was always the creative type. I loved drawing, building things, I used to play the piano, but ultimately the one artistic language that I chose to communicate was video editing. I created this channel when I was only 12 years old in 2011, and at the time I made these YouTube poops where I'd essentially take different audio samples from different media sources and turn them into music. I made a couple viral hits off of that, such as Swag Circulation or my 2 Jax Films videos, which were both featured on his channel at the time. And then the more I got into OSU, the more my content shifted towards that. I was in high school at the time and I remember wanting to make some money with my video editing skills, but as is unfortunately the case with many young editors, I was essentially spit on and chewed out by local businesses who would have me edit their Facebook videos for free. No compensation, no connections, no nothing. Thanks for that. And so I ended up with the usual student jobs like being a waiter, which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, by the way, cause tipping isn't exactly a thing over here, and I had no contract, but I digress. When I graduated high school, I originally wanted to do computer engineering, cause let's face it, it's the job of the century. Every computer nerd is doing it, and for good reason. High pay, high demand, you can work anywhere from anywhere. But I was never particularly good at these things, and I wasn't even excited with the prospect of working in an office for the rest of my life. So instead of choosing following my brain, I ended up following my heart. And so I signed up to a university that's arts related. Now, before all the Americans make fun of me in the comments, oh my god, this dude signed up to art school, oh, you're gonna be homeless. Well, no. Luckily, taxes aren't even that high for university in Italy, and because of my family's low income, I had to pay even less, so don't worry, I'm not in crippling debt. Not yet, at the very least. At this point in time, I was already making content actively on my YouTube channel, but for the most part I was nothing more than just another pair of hands playing OSU like any other top player at the time. I barely showed my face, I hated the sound of my own voice, so much so that when I made many of my top players lists, I'd have other people come on board for the commentary part. Everything changed in 2020. As we all know, a little thing called COVID-19 happened, and I lost all my jobs. I was forced to attend online university and I gained a ton of free time. In my mind, I had no more excuses. So I bought myself a webcam, USB mic, and I just started talking. Talking about my experience as a top player, giving people advice, making jokes, and as it turns out, you guys really like that. Now keep in mind this happened over the course of 2 or 3 years and I'm really summarizing here, but I started showing my personality more and more. Plugging my Twitch in my YouTube videos, and next thing you know, I started building up a little audience. I was streaming on Twitch every day, I created a Discord server, I started reviewing keyboards on YouTube, and eventually, companies started reaching out to me through email so that they could send me their keyboards to review free of charge. I came up with a couple formats like Let's Argue, I started a little podcast, my audience kept growing steadily until I was able to apply to Twitch partnership, and I got denied once, twice, 3, 4 times until I eventually became a Twitch partner. I also became a Discord partner, sponsorships started coming in, I was uploading videos on a weekly basis. In my mind, that's when I became the Spaza17 you all know and hopefully love. So why did I quit? It was summer of 2022. I had just come back from COE 2022, which was an unbelievable experience, by the way. So many people talked to me, I signed so many things, even people I never expected to even know my name, like top players or people from OSU staff. I was incredibly happy and thankful for all the love I had received from the OSU community, but at the same time, when I came back home, I felt overwhelmed. I was surrounded by physical things. I had a ton of boxes full of keyboards and gadgets to review, deadlines with companies. I was heading into the last 2 years of my degree, and while I'm not gonna get into detail, I also had to deal with some personal loss and some minor health inconveniences. All of this led to me just thinking about where I was going, where I was headed, and I started doubting all the choices I had made up until that point. I started worrying about my future, about what my professional life would look like, and in order to really find myself, I've decided to take a rather extreme approach. I decided to get rid of everything I ever believed in. I stopped uploading videos on YouTube, I stopped streaming on Twitch, I sold or gave away most of my physical possessions, all my keyboards. I even stopped playing OSU, which I know sounds silly, but you know, when your whole online identity revolves around a single game, it's actually quite a big step. At that point it was just me and my passion for content creation and video production. I went out into the world to see what traditional media had to offer, and of course I was met with many doors shut in my face. However, through the power of determination, effort, and some of the connections I've made in art school, I was able to land many important gigs. I worked on a movie set, a real movie set with real actors. I was the youngest person there, everybody else was in their late 40s, and I worked there for a whole month, 12 to 14 hours a day, very long shifts. I got to see what it's like making a movie. I got to hold a camera worth more than my entire family pretty much. Don't drop that. And I got to speak to a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. I was on a couple TV sets and I got to see the main differences between the two. I visited one of the largest Italian national television stations and got to see what's behind everyday TV production. And amongst other things, I also shot and edited a music video, which was a lot of fun, and very recently shot and edited a short film with a production company that's in the process of being submitted to film festivals across my country. Other than work, I also fully graduated with a very high rating, acing most of my exams, which in combination with my family's low income gave me access to scholarships. Thank God for that. During that time I talked to a lot of different people, most of which were much older than me, and when I talked to them about my doubts and troubles, showing them my YouTube channel and the stuff I was doing, pretty much all of them told me that I was on the right path. I was clearly passionate about content creation and video production, and even though I was no expert by any stretch of the imagination, I was eager to learn, and that to me just took out all the doubts I was having about myself. I guess maybe that's really what I was looking for. It was nice to have some external confirmation and validation purely based on my work, and not because I'm, you know, Spaza17, the epic OSU YouTube guy. And that is where I've been for the past year and a half. So what's next? You see, up until this point, my entire online career has been a bit of a balancing act. I've always tried making videos and streaming on Twitch, while also having to deal with attending lectures, doing home assignments, studying for exams, sometimes interrupting my activity for months at a time. As I said earlier, I fully graduated, I'm free from university, and even though I have an important apprenticeship pending that will help me in my professional life, that will most likely take place in early 2025. This puts me in a unique position where for the first time ever, I can focus on producing content without having to worry about all these external distractions. And you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Starting today, I'm going back to uploading content regularly on this YouTube channel and streaming on Twitch. I'm gonna bring back some old formats and also come out with some new ones. I have plenty of ideas and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm excited. I was itching to tell you guys about this for months, but I really had to focus on my graduation and finish all my other gigs. But now that that's out of the way, I'm happy to announce we are back. I'm gonna be honest with you, COE 2024 could be the last time I attend. I'm gonna be there all week. And this time, I don't wanna be remembered as the washed up content creator who only uploads twice a year. I'm gonna be the content creator you guys, my audience, deserves. Now, I haven't uploaded in a while, and truthfully, I don't know if YouTube even remembers who I am. So if you want to help this video reach more people through the YouTube algorithm, make sure to leave a like. Takes 2 seconds and it really helps. Leave a comment down below to let me know your thoughts. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. I will leave all my socials down there in the description. I especially recommend joining my Discord server because there I'm going to announce whenever I'm live, every time I upload a new video, and also explain all the rules and all the events I'm going to be hosting in the next couple months. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too. So, with that being said, I will see you all in my next video very soon. Have a good one, guys.